Hi guys, so I'm back again with the Palas of Bengal. I hope I'm not boring you, so at least you can listen to me and come to know about everything. So, how's life going on? I hope everything is going on fine and you guys are having fun. Lockdown, so I am also in lockdown, but I am working for you guys and it's good to be in touch with you. It's nice, I enjoy you guys. You are my everything. So I like you guys a lot. And today I hope you remember today's Nurses Day. It was Mother's Day and today's Nurses Day. And nurses are the people who nurture for us. Mom is at home, but God forbid, but when we get sick or something, when we are in the hospital, the nurses take our mother's place and really take good care of us. And Florence Nightingale, for your information, Florence Nightingale was one of the best nurses in the world around, and the lady with the lamp, she was called, and she used to just go out and do anything for anybody, and she was the best nurse ever. So in remembrance of her is today's day, 12th of May. We actually celebrate. So today is actually the 13th, but I celebrate every day is a good day. So I salute to all the nurses out there during this pandemic who are really helping out people, not worrying about their families. They're going out and working and taking care of the situation, and hats off to them. And really, so it's a really great job. I do respect all these people because I have this army background, so I do respect. I don't ever forget, people who pay you help. So it's like that. So you must all respect each and every individual. You should respect everyone. You should even respect a dog. You should even respect a bird. If you pay respect, you get back respect. So that's really what I want to teach you. Studies will go on, but if you become a good human being in life, that's the most ever thing you can get an award from the Almighty, the Maker of the world. And for that, you have to listen to your parents. They are your almighties. They are your creators. So you have to respect them. If you learn to respect them, then you learn to respect yourself, and then you'll obviously respect others. So it's a give and take policy. If you don't give anything, you don't get anything. So before you want to get anything, you have to give. So sharing is caring, guys. All the best. Let's come back to Palas and let's see what we can see about it. I'm going to repeat it again as far as I had told you, and I'll share the notes with you, which will be much more easier for you to understand. I have already posted few solution questions and of the NCRT types, which you have to follow with answers. I guess it's with answers, and there's a full book chapter of notes which I have put up. It's a PDF file which you can go through. Information is going to be the same. As I said, it might change from this part to that part, but the dates don't change. Some we try to get some more information about it, and as a way it's much more better. I can explain it to you more, on this online thing. I can get 2 more points. In the school, what happens is the bell rings and I have to go, and we are from this page to that page, and we don't get these things done. And you can slowly also get your notes done. If you get your notes done, homework will be on your fingertips. If you know the chapter, you don't have to worry about your question answers. Try to learn your word meanings, go into dictionaries instead of going on to Google. If you get very stuck, you're not understanding that meaning, then you go into Google. And never try to think in Hindi if you are looking for an English word, please. Because as I told you that SVO in grammar, subject, verb and object, so it happens like that. I ate pizza and hum pizza khate hain. So follow your dictionaries and do well. Okay, now let's come back to Palas. Wasted a lot of time. Okay, so as I was saying, I'll tell you, repeat it again. The Pala Empire was an imperial power during the late classical period of the Indian subcontinent. I have told you this, which originated in the region of Bengal, modern day Bangladesh and West Bengal. Why is it Bangladesh and West Bengal? Because once upon a time, Bangladesh actually is called East Pakistan. India, Bangladesh and Pakistan are very much together if you see the map. And We still call it East Pakistan, but Bangladesh has it cannot defy. So modern day Bangladesh and West Bengal, they are very very close to each other. Like from Kolkata, if you just travel a few kilometers towards the border, you will see Bangladesh also. And if you go from West Dinajpur, you can also reach from the Farakka bridge, you can see Bangladesh. So it's very close. We were all together at one point of time, but nature or politics or whatever, we got divided. So it is named after its ruling dynasty. The Pala Empire is ruled after its ruling dynasty. Okay. So who actually, if I put it this way, whose rulers bore names ending with the suffix Pala, means protector in Sanskrit. Pala means protector. Now their name was Pala, they were the title or the suffix, you can say, were Palas, so they named their empire also the Pala Empire. Okay. They were followers, as I told you, of Mahayana and Tantric schools of Buddhism. Empire was founded with the election of Gopala, okay, as the emperor of Gauda in 750 CE. The empire was founded with the election of Gopala as the emperor of Gauda in 750 CE. Clear? The Pala stronghold was located in Bihar and Bengal, which included major cities as, if I am not mistaken, it's Pataliputra right now, which is Patna, Vikrampura, Gauda, Mongir, which is now Munger, I guess, and Somakura, Ramvati, Tamralipta and Jagadala. These are the places, and some parts of Odisha and Assam. The Palas were astute diplomatics and military conquerors. They were great fighters as the Rajputs. They used to think and do their things. Their army was noted for its vast war elephant corps. Now what were war elephants? War elephant is trained and guided by humans for combat. The war elephant's main use was to charge the enemy, breaking their ranks and instilling terror. Elephant are military, elephants are in the sense of where you have people mounting on top of elephants. We have mounted police force on horses in Kolkata. That's the only state in India which has mounted police, which some other states have followed. And elephants were trained basically to create charge and huskas. If an elephant becomes angry and comes in front of you, no matter what you have, you are going to run. So they were trained as that way, war elephants. So elephants can be trained. Elephants have got a huge type of thinking power, and they get very domesticized. Okay, their navy performed both mercantile and defensive roles in the Bay of Bengal. They built grand temples and monasteries, including the Somapura Mahavira, and patronized the great universities of Nalanda and Vikramashila. Nalanda, you must be knowing, it's in Bihar, the most famous, oldest university. The Proto-Bengali language developed under the Pala rule, which we call Bangla language, was developed during their rule. The empire enjoyed relations with the Srivijaya Empire and the Tibetan Empire and the Arab Abbasid Caliphate. Caliphate you will come to know later. It's no use explaining it now. But if you want to know, I can explain it to you. Now, the Arab Abbasid Caliphate was the third caliphate to succeed the Islamic prophet Muhammad. It was a founded dynasty. It was actually founded by a dynasty descended from Muhammad's uncle, Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, from whom the dynasty takes its name. They ruled as caliphs for most of the caliphate from their capital in Baghdad. Okay, this information I can give you. Arabs, you know about already, are a population inhabiting in the Arab world. They primarily live in the Arab states in Western Asia, North Africa, the Horn of Africa, Western Indian Ocean islands, as well as significant numbers in America, Western Europe, Indonesia, Israel, Turkey, and Iran. Okay, this is the, what is the Tibetan Empire? The Tibetan Empire existed from the 7th to 9th centuries AD, when Tibet was unified as a large and powerful empire and ruled an era considerably larger than Tibetan Plateau, stretching from parts of East Asia, Central Asia, and South Asia. Plateaus, I have explained it to you earlier also in the geography how a plateau is formed, and Tibet was the actual example of it. Now, Abbasid coinage found in Pala archaeological sites as well as records of Arab historians point to flourishing mercantile and intellectual contacts. The House of Wisdom in Baghdad absorbed the mathematical and astronomical achievements of Indian civilization during this period. Now, what these people were sitting and doing, the Arabs, they were trying and doing their homework. What is all this India is happening? And they absorbed what India is gaining, the mathematical and astronomical achievements. Like in maths, they were doing something, they were working about astronomy and all that. These information they were getting. What was the House of Wisdom going on for? House of Wisdom is a grand library in Baghdad. It refers to either a major Abbasid public academy or intellectual center, or you can say a huge school of books during the Islamic Golden Age. So they were working and understanding. See, whatever is happening, India was so pure, India was so rich, India was everything. And during that time we had the religion was, the common languages was only Sanskrit and Prakrit, including prototype the Bengali. The religions were Mahayana Buddhism, Tantric Buddhism, and Shaivism. Okay, so these were the government was a monarchy type. Emperors were who? Gopala and Madanpala. In the 8th century was Gopala, and in the 12th century was Madanpala. It is known as the classical Indian history. Okay. They were preceded by the Gauda kingdom, the Chero dynasty, and the Sena dynasty. Today a part of India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Pakistan. It's clear till here. You understood till here. So should we keep it till here or should we go ahead? We'll go ahead with it in the next video, and I'll cut it short so that I don't put too much pressure on you guys and you don't get bored. So I'm just repeating it. So Thursday is your final, I'm explaining you for the medieval, then we'll go to the next chapter which is there. I guess it's the Delhi Sultanate and all. After that we have we have a kingdoms, the medieval kingdoms part 2 also as well. So from next Tuesday, you won't have to worry, I'll be on the same page with you with the same book. Okay, so I'll just so let's keep it till here today itself instead of putting too much pressure on you. So you'll go through these. There are 2 videos and actually 3 videos for Thursday for today. So you just go through them, and I'll not put any more pressure. I'll not put up more notes for you so that you get jumbled up. So whatever is given to you, you go through that and see what happens. Okay, and so that we can work out things in a better way. If you have any issues, please do drop a message on the group. Okay, and I'll get in touch with you. Till then, do whatever you want after your studies, enjoy your life, and don't be sad, be happy, keep smiling, enjoy. This is the time to get that full energy and get ready for the new world again. You know, the world has changed, we are getting a new place again. So everything is going to change. So good is going to happen. Always be positive, be an optimistic. Okay guys, see you, God bless, and take care of yourselves. Stay safe and stay home, and wish you all the best of luck. Bye bye.